Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating and pretty intricate case study. It spans generations, weaving together family drama, personal struggles, and some really profound spiritual insights. We've got this unique audio recording. It's a personal account sharing the life stories of one person and their family. And alongside that, there's this expert analysis looking at the karmic threads connecting everything. It's quite a tapestry of cause and effect.
Yeah, what's really interesting here is how this deep dive takes us on that journey through these patterns. It shows not just what happened, but digs into why it mattered. You really see how actions, past and present, shape our lives and, the lives of people close to us. It's a compelling look at how these karmic principles actually work in practice.
Right. So our mission today is to pull out those key insights for you. Understanding karma in action, seeing the power of making merit, how transformative that can be, and maybe getting a glimpse into the afterlife. All through this one family's really extraordinary experiences. As we unpack this, think about what really clicks for you. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with our storyteller. This is someone who felt a pull towards a spiritual path pretty early on. They remember their first visit to Wat Phra Dhammakaya back in 2529, seeing this procession, 500 monks. And that experience just sparked this deep respect and devotion. It clearly stuck with them. By 2540, they even ordained for a time and were actively, getting others involved in supporting the temple, like with the Dhammakaya Buddha images and the pagoda. So there's a strong spiritual current right from the start. But the family story itself, wow, it starts off pretty dramatically. The storyteller's mother was apparently exceptionally beautiful and really hardworking too. So much so that when she was just 15 or 16, a group of men actually broke into her house trying to get to her.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Her grandfather was there and had to fire a warning shot just to scare them off. Can you imagine? That must have just shattered their sense of security.
Oh, absolutely. And that event, that trauma, it led to a really pivotal decision. The grandfather, well, he was scared for her, obviously, for her safety, her future. So he quickly arranged for her to learn tailoring. A practical skill, maybe a safer path forward.
And that's where she met the storyteller's father.
Right.
While learning tailoring.
Exactly. That's the connection point.
Okay, but here's where it gets really complicated, personally. Even though her grandfather checked the father out, said he was a good guy, gave his blessing, the mother was apparently forced into the marriage. She just didn't love him. And for the first 7 months, she wouldn't let him touch her. I mean, the tension in that house must have been unbelievable.
Yeah, it speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About those early days. But the father, by all accounts, he was a genuinely good man. Loved her completely, apparently. He understood she didn't feel the same, but he chose to love her anyway. Total devotion. He even moved them closer to his own family, who were also, kind, good-hearted people, hoping maybe she'd see his goodness wasn't just him, it was his family. Maybe offer her some support.
But even with good people around her husband, his aunt, his uncle, she just felt completely disheartened, like wrestling with this deep despair about her life, her fate.
Right.
We hear she even tried picking fights with the father, and he loved her, but, eventually he'd get upset too. And unbelievably, she tried to take her own life multiple times, but was always saved somehow.
The issue, right.
So for listeners trying to grasp this, does the source material give any clues about, the intensity of karmic return, especially with this kind of personal suffering?
It gives a very direct explanation, actually. The analysis connects her being forced into marriage directly back to a past life where she forced her own 2 daughters into marriages they didn't want, inflicting that same kind of, lack of choice, that same discomfort she was now feeling.
Wow.
It's a really clear illustration of how actions that disregard someone else's free will often come back in a similar form, maybe to help us develop empathy through, shared experience. And interestingly, she and the father, they'd been a couple before, but their relationship swung between deep affection and intense dislike. That shaped their current dynamic too.
So a complex history.
Very complex.
Yeah.
And her suicide attempts, but always being saved, that traces back to causing one of those past daughters to think about suicide because of the forced marriage, but not actually go through with it. It's a really powerful, very precise echo.
It seems like these karmic ripples touched everyone, didn't they? Not just the main couple. What about the grandfather, the one who fired the gun? Did he face consequences later?
He did, yeah. The analysis shows he eventually passed away from stomach cancer. And this was linked back to karma from killing animals for food, both in past lives and his current one.
Ah.
He went to a lower Brahmaloka after death. That's a celestial realm, but, not perfect bliss. It indicates unresolved karma. But importantly, his condition there improved a lot because the family dedicated merit to him.
So that shows both how past actions can manifest, but also the power of that posthumous merit, right?
Right.
Helping someone even after they're gone.
Exactly. Can really alleviate suffering in the afterlife.
Okay, so the family saga continues, and there's another heartbreaking twist. The mother's first child, a son, was born with polio.
Hmm.
And that, understandably, just intensified her despair, made her really question her fate, feeling this huge resentment. Such a tough situation for any parent.
It is. And this was a really crucial turning point, a moment of just immense suffering. But feeling that resentment, that almost vengeful energy towards her destiny, she channeled it, not into anger at others, but into this, well, remarkable act of spiritual determination.
What did she do?
She started waking up early every single day, cooking food and offering it to monks, something she'd never done before. And with every single offering, she prayed intensely, specifically for healthy children.
And it worked.
It did. She then had 4 healthy children, including the storyteller, and all of them grew up quite spiritually inclined, devoted to making merit themselves.
That's incredible, a powerful demonstration of intention, of merit. But it raises a question, doesn't it? For someone exploring karma, is there a deeper principle here? Like how suffering can sometimes actually push someone towards huge spiritual growth or even like reroute their destiny?
Absolutely. It highlights that exact point, the power of merit combined with a really strong, focused intention. The analysis reveals the son's polio was karmically linked to the mother's past life. She lived in an agricultural society and used servants to chain up animals that were going to be sold for slaughter. She knew their fate. And the son, he was one of those former servants, drawn back by that specific karma. It's a powerful illustration, not just of direct consequences for harming beings, but also the responsibility we have for those under our authority, especially when their well-being is compromised for our gain.
So the link is very direct.
Very direct. And the analysis suggests if she hadn't started making those daily offerings, those fervent prayers, she likely would have had more children with disabilities because she'd bound many servants in that past life. It really shows how strong, consistent merit-making can, in effect, reroute those negative karmic patterns.
Rewrote. So the old karma isn't just erased.
Not erased, no.
Yeah.
It's more like the new, strong, positive karmic energy creates such favorable conditions that it either delays the ripening of the bad karma or significantly lessens its impact when it does ripen. It kind of overrides it in a way.
Okay, I see. Now, the father also faced challenges. He passed away relatively young, 52, from liver cancer, and this was after he started playing cards in his 40s.
That's right. His liver cancer was linked to past karma from raising animals for slaughter and also hunting. He also initially went to a lower Brahmaloka. He faced difficulties there because he hadn't made much merit in that specific lifetime.
But something helped him.
Yes. Good deeds he'd done in the Buddhist faith in an even earlier past life. That protected him from falling into, the truly lower realms. And the card playing. It was seen more as a hobby, not like destructive gambling causing ruin.
Right, just a pastime.
Exactly. And the merit that the family dedicated to him after his death, that significantly improved his conditions in the afterlife.
It's fascinating how these karmic patterns show up everywhere, even in something like property ownership. The mother, even at 60, never owned her own home, always renting or living with her kids even when she had money.
Yeah, it's a peculiar pattern.
She had money but didn't buy, then later wanted to buy but didn't have the money. What's the analysis say about that?
It points to 2 main karmic factors for her. First, she'd made very little merit specifically related to, land or housing across her lifetimes. But more significantly, in one past life, she actively talked a relative out of donating land and a house to a temple.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The relative changed their mind because of her. And the karmic consequence for the mother, a life without owning property, a direct result of obstructing someone else's major act of merit.
That's a huge lesson, isn't it, about interfering with others' good intentions?
Definitely. It shows the far-reaching impact.
Okay, the story keeps unfolding. Let's talk about the storyteller's elder brother. This is the uncle's eldest son. Described as really upright, never harmed creatures, didn't drink, smoke, never married.
A very moral person, seemingly.
Right. But initially he became quite critical of the temple. Why was that?
It seems it was mainly due to negative rumors, village gossip. He got caught up in it, started making sarcastic remarks, worried his younger brother, the storyteller, was being, tricked by the temple.
Ah, okay. Then devastating news hits. Late-stage colon cancer. June 2547. Doctors gave him a terrible prognosis.
Yes, and this is where the story takes another extraordinary turn. It really shows the potential for spiritual change, even when facing immense suffering. Despite his skepticism and being in intense pain, I mean, the description is graphic, bleeding every 15-30 minutes, no bowel control.
Terrible.
His family persuaded him to visit a meditation center, Panawat. And what's amazing is, the moment he bowed to a monk at the airport, the pain lessened. Then on the flight, just talking with the monk, the pain completely vanished.
Vanished. Just like that.
Completely gone. For the flight, anyway.
Wow. He managed to stay at Panawat for 7 days, pain-free, which, given his condition, sounds like a miracle.
Truly remarkable.
But when he got back, the doctors were still urging immediate surgery. They confirmed the cancer had spread to his lungs, gave him about 6 months, though they apparently said the lung spread was lucky in a way, because liver would have been faster.
Right. Small mercies in a terrible situation.
And this is where the family just rallied. The storyteller, other relatives, they pooled funds. A lot of money, significant amounts, from a brother-in-law, a fifth brother, the storyteller too. They made this big advance Kathina offering.
For listeners, Kathina is a really important annual offering ceremony for monks, considered highly meritorious.
Right. And they had a monk come receive the donation right at his hospital bed because they were afraid he wouldn't live long enough to make the offering at the temple itself.
That collective effort, it had profound effects. Afterwards, the elder brother had this dream, or vision, Luang Pu Wat Phra Dhammakaya, this revered golden statue emerging from his body.
What did that mean?
The analysis says it was a very auspicious vision, a karmic vision, born from the merit he'd just made and the peace he was starting to find. It suggested his mind was in a really good state, which is a huge indicator of positive karma ripening.
And it seems it did ripen. Despite the 6-month prognosis, his condition improved dramatically. Doctors were apparently baffled. He lived for another year and 2 months.
1 year, 2 months.
So how exactly does that work? From the analysis, how does this present-day merit physically intervene, like in the body's condition, not just spiritually?
It's understood that this powerful present-day merit, the generosity, keeping precepts, the meditation, it effectively cuts through or rearranges the negative karmic patterns that were causing the illness to progress so rapidly. It grants more time, a reprieve from the worst suffering.
So the cancer didn't disappear, but its progression slowed.
Exactly. The energy of the positive karma creates protective, even healing conditions. It influences not just the mind, but also the body's resilience. It's like creating a buffer, allowing other, more beneficial karmic seeds a chance to ripen instead.
That makes sense. Sadly, though, as his health improved, he got a bit complacent, forgot his meditation, stopped visiting the temple for a while.
Yes, that's what happened. He slipped back, and the cancer returned, spreading from his lungs to his brain this time.
Oh, no.
But again, his monk mentor, his Kalyanamit, his good spiritual friend stepped in, encouraged him to make more merit, more offerings, Kathina again, land for parking, other charities.
And did it help again?
It did. His pain lessened again. He became diligent in his practice, found real peace before he passed away at 43.
So after all that, the initial resistance, then embracing merit, the extension of life, finding peace, where did he go? What was the final outcome?
The analysis is quite specific. It says he went to Tavatimsa heaven. That's one of the higher heavenly realms, which indicates a really significant amount of merit was accumulated.
Tavatimsa at level 3. Right?
Level 3, yes. Reborn as a handsome male deity, enjoying divine treasures, happiness, in a golden celestial mansion, he passed peacefully, just like falling asleep and waking up there, surrounded by the results of his good deeds.
Amazing. And he sent a message back.
He did, basically. Merit is real, heaven is real. And wishing he'd made even more merit while he had the chance.
Wow. It really shows the impact of that merit, even made late in life, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That collective Kathina offering especially was huge, enough to close off the paths to lower realms and secure that birth in Tavatimsa. And interestingly, it also cleared his poverty karma for future lives. So he'll have wealth in proportion to his merit next time around.
That's incredible. What about the brother-in-law? The one who lent a large sum, but then decided, no, just donate it. What's the karmic effect of that kind of generosity supporting someone else's merit?
That act, it's said to bring him immense wealth across many lifetimes, eradicates any poverty karma he might have had. But more than that, it results in him having supportive relatives, people with the right view who will help him in his own merit-making. just like he helped the elder brother.
So it creates this virtuous cycle. Giving leads to receiving support for your own spiritual path.
Exactly. It shows generosity often comes back, not just materially, but as these really valuable human connections that help you grow spiritually.
Okay, let's turn to our storyteller now. They clearly have this strong spiritual inclination, right? A thick ordination lineage, meaning many past lives as a monastic.
That's the indication, yes, a strong predisposition.
They disrobed after their first ordination, but were planning to ordain again in 2549, hoping to make it lifelong this time. What kind of advice does the analysis offer for someone on that kind of dedicated but maybe challenging path?
It confirms that pattern past lives with short ordinations than longer, more committed ones. For a truly joyful, lifelong monastic life this time, the analysis stresses having a clear goal, aiming for nirvana, accumulating merit to escape suffering,
Makes sense.
and also the practical stuff, daily monastic practice, cultivating inner peace, but crucially, associating with good monastic friends, kalyanamit, who share those same high aspirations. And, just as important, actively avoiding monks who just talk about worldly things or might suggest disrobing. The environment, the company, is critical.
That seems key. Finally, what about the monk mentor? The Kalyanamit who guided this family through so much. What's their connection?
The analysis reveals he's been a spiritual guide for this family across many lifetimes. He was even the elder brother's teacher in a past existence.
Wow, long connection.
It's very long. His focus now is on spreading the Dhamma, the teachings. And he's achieved good results in his own meditation, reaching the inner Dhamma sphere. Apparently, way back in a previous eon, he was a soldier who ordained with a king, practiced really well, and earned a place back in Dusit Puri's special circle, that high realm for bodhisattvas.
So a being with a high aspiration.
Yes, but the analysis also adds a note of caution. He needs to remain vigilant, keep practicing diligently in this life to maintain that path. It really does make you appreciate how interconnected lives are, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. This whole deep dive into just one family story, it really shows our lives are far from random, doesn't it? Every joy, every challenge, relationships, opportunities for growth, they all seem woven from these threads, past actions, past choices.
Yeah, and if you connect that to the bigger picture, it just underscores the incredible power we each have. The power to shape our present and our future through conscious choices, acts of generosity, morality, meditation. Even small things done consistently can have these huge, long-lasting effects. We saw it with the mother's daily food offerings, changing her family's future.
Right. Or the elder brother's last-minute merit, buying him time and getting him to heaven.
Exactly.
It's such a powerful reminder. We can't change the karma we've already created. The seeds are sown, but we can definitely influence how it plays out. We can even override the worst impacts with new, strong, positive actions right now. It's about taking charge of our spiritual destiny, really.
And it raises an important question, I think, for you listening. When you see how deeply family karma can be interconnected, how one person's actions ripple through generations, what responsibility do we have, not just for our own path, but maybe for guiding and supporting the people closest to us on their journeys of making merit? How can we be a kalyanamit, a good spiritual friend for our own loved ones?
That's a deep question to ponder. Think about it. What seeds of karma are you planting today? And what kind of harvest are you preparing for tomorrow, not just for yourself, but maybe for those whose lives are tangled up with yours? Keep those insights coming, folks, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.